I came to awareness in a strange room and strange bed. Nothing looked familiar. The room was large and beautifully decorated. The black and gold bedding matched the drapes on the windows. I tried to sit up and grabbed my head. I had the mother of all headaches. I groaned, and that was when I noticed Eric sitting in a chair across the room. He smiled and stood up. "It's about time you woke up. I was worried about you." "What happened?" I asked. His smile grew as he approached the bed. "Your plan didn't go as you thought it would. You caught all 4 of the vamps but took a dose yourself. Rodrigo saved you." "Rodrigo saved me?" I repeated. Just then Rodrigo came into the room. He too was sporting a smile. "It is good to see you awake, my dear." I held up a hand. "Okay, one of you will have to explain what happened at the park and tell me where I am," I insisted. "Eric called me right away when they took you from the club. He told me what you were trying to do, and I made the necessary preparations," explained Rodrigo. "You knew I'd get poisoned too." I thought it might be a possibility. "My doctors were on standby," Rodrigo said. "My team went in and made the arrests. We caught all concerned, including the viewers. There was one human left unharmed. Ruby made a full confession and gave us a list of the viewers," added Eric. "And you trusted her?" I asked incredulously. "Ruby is my new partner. She was working undercover, picking up where Serge left off," Eric clarified for me. "Hey, kiddo," Ruby said, walking into the room. "Let me get this straight. Ruby is an investigator working undercover to catch the bad vamps? She used me as bait?" I asked. I was getting angrier by the minute. "It didn't start out that way. When Eric told me what you wanted to do, I volunteered to look out for you. I lost control when you decided to go Rambo on the noobs. Then I had to make a choice. I didn't want to blow my cover, so I went with it." "So, it was you who gave the order to kill me?" I asked her. I got out of bed to go stand in front of her. "No, it wasn't me, but I was there. I couldn't stop them. Doug would have killed me if I had shown my hand then. But once Eric and the rest of the team showed up, I let him have it," she replied, cracking her neck. "What about the bad vamps?" I didn't want to say rogue vamps because, well, I was a rogue, but I wasn't anything like them. "The council has no tolerance for such behavior. They will be dealt with," Eric answered. "The vamps I attacked didn't die. Only sunlight and decapitation can do that. What I did incapacitated them. The idea was to slow down and bleed. That way, they'd be too weak to attack. The plan was to weaken them, but it didn't turn out that way. Silver is poisonous to vamps, but what I dosed them with wasn't enough to kill them." "So, where am I exactly? Hospital for vamps." "You are a guest in my home," replied Rodrigo. "Oh, thank you. I feel great. So I won't impose on you much longer." I remembered how cold he was to me when I went to him for help. "You can stay for as long as you wish." "My home is your home," Rodrigo stated in a tone that was both gentle and inviting. "Does that mean you're accepting me into the clan?" I asked, feeling hopeful. "We will talk later, my dear." Rodrigo turned and left the room quickly. I gave Eric and Ruby a quick smile. I wasn't as angry as before, but I still felt used. "So what now?" I asked them. They had been staring at me strangely. "Serge was special, Victoria. He was incredibly special. The Montenescu clan all have paranormal talents. They are a clan with special gifts." "You've used the word special 3 times now. What gives?" Ruby and Eric were beaming at me. "Serge was a powerful psychic before he was turned, and he was from a distinguished line of psychics. Becoming a vampire is a paranormal event in itself. Add psychic abilities to it, and you get something truly magical," Eric said. "And what's that supposed to mean?" "It means that the Montenescu clan are anxious to know what talents will emerge from you. As gifted vamps, they are only drawn to others with abilities. Serge must have sensed something in you to choose you otherwise. He could have died without passing on the vampire gift." "I don't feel anything paranormal except for the obvious abilities that go along with being a vampire," I replied. I watched them staring at me as if something were about to jump out of me. In that respect, they were no different from humans. God, I was beginning to think like them, referring to alive people as human. I have begun to separate myself from humanity, I realized. "If you're feeling better, Come join us downstairs for dinner. Our host has quite the vintage waiting for us, Ruby said as she led the way. I'll join you in a minute, I assured them. The dining room is straight down and to the left. You can't miss it, Ruby called out. Eric followed her out, looking back at me once, and smiled. I took stock of what I was wearing and realized that someone had changed my clothing. I had worn one of my goth outfits, and now I was wearing a simple beige top with matching pants. The mirror across from the bed lured me to it. Since my turning, I had shied away from mirrors. I covered the mirror in my bathroom. I brushed my teeth looking away from it. When I went to the salon to get my hair done, I purposely kept my eyes averted from the mirrors, and when the hairdresser tried to show me her handiwork, I closed my eyes, smiled, and thanked her. I already knew that I had retained my original youthfulness, so there was no need for cosmetics, and I did my hair from memory. I stood in front of the mirror and the tears started falling, and I couldn't stop them. "Why are you crying?" Serge's voice asked gently. "I can see myself. I had thought I'd never see my reflection again," I replied. "Hollywood has it all wrong, sweetheart. Ask Ruby some questions. She's a good egg." "Wait, why can I hear you?" I asked suddenly. Serge was dead, and yet I had been having conversations with him without realizing it. "I will be with you a bit longer. There are some things I must tell you. You have inherited my shifter heritage. My father, unbeknownst to my mother, was a tiger shifter. Keep it a secret for a while longer." She had been drawn to him without fully understanding why. She once told me that my father was powerful, but couldn't figure out what his power was. Why? Everyone is anxious to know what my talent is, including your father. Trust me, let them wait a while longer. I waited to see if he was going to say something else, but he didn't. I followed Ruby's directions and arrived at the dining room. Rodrigo had laid a spread worthy of an aristocrat, a buffet fit for royalty. There was all kinds of meats, vegetables, and salads. Also on the table were several carafes. I made a beeline for one and poured myself a full glass. I didn't feel self-conscious because everyone had an equally full glass. Only after I had consumed 2 glasses did I even look at the buffet table. Before Serge turned me, I had a healthy appetite, but now I ate like a fat guy at a hot dog eating contest. Vampire metabolism was super fast, so we eat a lot to keep our energy up. I made a plate and sat down with the others to eat. The conversation began soon after. I listened with half an ear until I heard Rodrigo say something about Serge. "I visited our temporary crypt a day ago and was surprised to see his body still intact," he said to no one in particular. I knew, however, he said it for my benefit because he was looking straight at me. "Don't our dead decompose?" I asked. "When vampires die, they usually turn to a dry husk within a few days, unless it is by sunlight. It was why I hurried to retrieve his body from the hospital morgue. However, it has been 4 months and he is still fresh. I'm sure I don't know. Until recently, I didn't know vampires existed, let alone what happens to them when they die," I insisted. "My dear, for as long as vampires have existed, they have turned into husks when they die. I am curious to know why," he reiterated. I continued to eat and didn't say anything more. He was digging, and I wasn't about to say anything until I understood the situation for myself. "Did you inquire about it with the council?" asked Eric. I noticed that he had a big plate of food himself and was doing a wonderful job of eating it. So was Ruby. Rodrigo was the only one holding out. He was nursing a glass of blood and had a carafe by his elbow. "I was told that someone would get in touch with me soon," he replied. "Perhaps he reverted back to human. Did anyone think of that being a possibility?" Ruby asked, suddenly interested in the conversation. Before that, she was just shoveling food into her mouth. "Can we revert?" I asked. "I don't know. It has never happened before to my knowledge," Rodrigo supplied. We all know that Serge was a powerful psychic. Any number of reasons could be a factor. He is lingering for a specific reason. The council informed me that they were sending a seer. She will be able to tell us more, Eric added. "What's a seer?" I asked. "If you recall, I told you about other supernatural beings. A seer can see things we can't, Victoria," Eric reminded me. I nodded. "I remember, but I don't understand what a seer is going to do." "Don't I have a say in what happens to Serge's remains, after all? He was my sire. Enough! I have invited Serge's biological mother. It is a courtesy I owe her. She will be here tomorrow, Rodrigo said. I grow weary of this subject. If you'll excuse me, I will retire for the evening. Then he stood up and left the table. It occurred to me that Serge's mother shouldn't be alive unless she was a paranormal of some kind. What is Serge's mother? Ah, I see why Rodrigo is upset. Serge's mother is a powerful witch, Eric said. And also, Serge's death is still a sore subject for him. Believe it or not, under that stiff exterior is a man grieving his son. I can understand that. It has only been 4 months. Gosh, it feels like a lifetime ago. Did they hold a memorial service for him? Do we do that? I asked. No, not normally. However, highborns have a gathering to say their goodbyes. Rodrigo will take a trip to the family home for it. We mourn, but not like humans do because the body usually dries up almost immediately. I suppose being a father for over 300 years makes the bond stronger, Ruby said. I continued to eat in silence. Once I had my fill, I got up from the table. I wandered away from the dining room and found myself in the foyer. I realized right away that I was in the mansion where I first met Rodrigo. The house was beautiful, and as alluring as it was, I wasn't interested in seeing the rest of it. I retraced my steps back to the bedroom I had awakened from. I found my boots and slipped them on. They had been cleaned of the gore I'd stepped in during my fight with the vamps. The rest of my clothes were ruined, I surmised. A discreet knock had me turning toward the door. Rodrigo came in with a kind expression on his face. I did not want the others to witness this as it is private. Sergi's responsibilities to care for you fall to me now. I thought you said that you didn't want anything to do with me, I said, not caring if I was making him feel uncomfortable. I apologize for saying that. I am honor-bound to care for you in his stead. I would be pleased if you moved into this house. It would make caring for you easier. Rodrigo, I appreciate the gesture, but by now you know that I am perfectly able to care for myself. I will respect your wish to live apart from me, but I want you to know that I have permission to welcome you into our clan. You have proven that you are a very capable woman. I am proud to call you daughter. As much as I wanted to continue feeling left out, those words were music to my ears and a salve to my heart. I felt accepted and I belonged. Thank you. I promise I won't disappoint the family. As a member of our clan, you will have access to bank accounts, homes, lands, and anything else you require. I sat down because this man didn't understand what that meant to me. Thanks to him, I didn't have to worry about my expenses, and I had my house and car. Apart from the acceptance, there wasn't anything else I wanted or needed. There was one thing I learned in the brief time of being a vampire, and that is, we are a close group, and we needed each other. The urge to belong was strong. That's why when they referred to me as a rogue, it hurt so much. If you are enjoying this story, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for episode 7.